Distinguishing facts from opinions. In this video, we will learn to distinguish facts from opinions and recognize the impact of our cognitive biases in searching, evaluating, and interpreting media messages. Then, we propose critical reading, inquiry, and scientific thinking skills as a means of dealing with opinions which obscure facts in the media. Not everything we see, hear, or read in the media is based on facts. We all know this from personal experience as, especially the new media, give the floor to anyone wishing to express their opinion about people, policy, public issues, or recent events. In fact, social media is the paradise of personal opinions that are shared and spread instantly worldwide. Then why are we so eager to equate opinions with facts? A fact can be defined as something that is known to have happened or exist, especially something for which there is proof or information. Now, there are several different kinds of facts in the media. Proven facts can be easily shown to be true. For example, the Prime Minister of Greece arrived yesterday at the Special European Council in Brussels. Or, there was an earthquake that hit Turkey and Syria 3 hours ago. Then there are probable facts. These are statements that are likely to be true, but we cannot prove them on our own, lacking access to this specific information. For example, when we see the city mayor announce on TV that 1 million tourists visited Thessaloniki last year, this is probably true given that the city is a favourite destination for tourists, but we cannot verify it. Thus, we have to trust the mayor. And then there are the probably untrue facts. For example, fake news that presents false or misleading information. Whatever the case, facts refer to something which can be verified sooner or later, while an opinion is an expression of someone's belief about something. It is a person's worldview, which may or may not be true. Opinions represent how we perceive and evaluate all kinds of information and evidence. So, how are our opinions constructed? To answer that, two different kinds of opinion must be distinguished. Firstly, the expert opinion, which is based on their accumulated knowledge and experience in a particular domain. For example, a doctor's advice regarding the cause of a disease. Their opinion is reliable due to their expertise, provided that 1, they are objective and follow the evidence instead of their personal feelings about the evidence. 2, they have no obvious personal profit for expressing a specific opinion. And 3, their opinion is closely related to their field of expertise. Secondly, people's personal opinion, which is usually formed after having looked at the facts and drawing certain conclusions. This explains why it is so important to distinguish true facts from untrue ones in the media. It bears consequences on our decisions and action intentions. Scientists either follow facts or evidence and draw conclusions. Do we act as scientists in our everyday lives? Then why do people looking at the same fact express a different opinion about it? We can find the answer if we examine how our opinions are formed. Our personal opinions are split between facts and our previous knowledge, values, and beliefs, as well as the way our mind works whenever making a judgment, taking a decision, or drawing a conclusion is needed. Biased thinking and the search of information in the media. Our minds like mental shortcuts, that is, quick ways that allow people to make judgments effortlessly, without looking for all the alternatives when they have to make a decision. The disadvantage of these mental shortcuts is that sometimes they can lead to errors and biased judgments or logical fallacies. It is inevitable to have biases since we all have previous life experiences and our thinking has been shaped by culture and education. The problem is that we do not know the limits of our mind and how it works. One of the most common biases related to media use is the confirmation bias, which refers to our tendency to look for information that agrees with our ideas or opinions, while at the same time we discard information that proves our ideas wrong. We are not interested in seeing the opposite view, which is a strong limitation when we draw a conclusion or make a decision in everyday life. We miss all the other possible perspectives, and we might be mis- or disinformed. This confirmation bias also accompanies our web search behavior every day. We search for favored opinions and news. Media have made it very easy for us. In the new media world, the boundaries between facts and opinions are increasingly blurred, especially on the internet. Everyone can create content and present it as a fact without the obligation to mention whether it is a fact or a personal opinion. However, we still need to have personal opinion, which represents the unique way each of us perceives reality. In fact, multiple perspectives of the same issue help us understand the complexity of the world and most human issues. The problem is that we seem to lack the skill to separate opinions from facts when they are presented in the same text or material, usually with the aim to mislead us. The Pew Research Center, a fact tank that informs the public about the issues, attitudes, and trends shaping the world, conducted specific research in 2018 involving 5,035 US adults, examining whether they could distinguish 5 factual statements from 5 opinion statements. The results showed that while the majority of Americans correctly identified at least 3 of the 5 statements in each set, this result was only slightly better than random guesses. Far fewer Americans managed to distinguish all the statements, and about 25% of them missed most of them or were completely wrong. Furthermore, they were more likely to think that news statements are factual when they appeal to their political side, even if they were opinions. This is a clear paradigm of the confirmation bias. Do we search for information that provides only one perspective of reality? We are probably in an echo chamber. In other words, an environment that presents and reinforces only our aspect of the world and systematically confirms our opinions and existing beliefs. It is difficult to recognize this echo chamber unless we are aware of its existence and the way it works. Even more difficult is to recognize that we are in a filter bubble, an internet environment created especially for us by algorithms that keep track of our online clicks, personalizes our web experiences, and gives us what we like and want to see, hear, and read. Although this seems a positive thing, as it saves us time by focusing on our interests, it is rather scaring, since it is a kind of involuntary isolation from all other possible information and perspectives expressed by others without knowing it. Someone or something, in this case, has made the choice for us based only on our initial preferences. A second paradigm of biased thinking refers to familiarity bias. Prior exposure creates a sense of familiarity, which, in turn, can enhance our liking or preference for a stimulus, a person, an idea, an image, etc. This phenomenon is known as the mere exposure effect. Social media is an example of how a piece of information that is presented in high volume for a short period of time is believed to be true and is shared by millions of people without checking its validity. The anchoring effect is another kind of bias, which refers to the tendency of people to consider the first piece of information they receive about a topic as being the most reliable. Do we need a certain level of cognitive bias literacy? The answer is a resounding yes. In conclusion, we have learnt that critical thinking is a key competence to A. distinguish between facts and opinions, and B. reflect on our biases in thinking and their impact on the way we evaluate information presented in the media. The first step to deal with the pitfalls of our mind is to be aware of their existence. The second is to debias our consumption of the information that is presented in the media. And this can be achieved by searching for evidence in order to believe fact statements, evaluating the credibility of expert opinions, questioning our beliefs and the way that they've been formed, searching for multiple sources when we want to acquire new information or form an opinion, looking for consensus in different media, and identifying echo chambers and trying to avoid them.